随着2026年 NBA 休赛季拉开帷幕，詹姆斯的未来动向再度成为全美体坛的焦点。名嘴 Skip Bayless 在其最新节目中爆出惊人观点，直指湖人队其实早已厌倦了詹姆斯的国王戏码，是湖人选择主动放弃，无情地将他扫地出门，而非詹姆斯主动选择离开。这一爆料不仅撕碎了双方和平分手的假象，更引发了关于詹姆斯如今真实统治力与球队建构价值的激烈论战。究竟这场决裂背后隐藏着怎样的内部矛盾？詹姆斯是否真的被湖人无情抛弃？接下来，我们就透过中文字幕来收看这段精彩内容。
The GOAT King. LeBron James is at it again, and this is an all-timer. He is going to milk this free agency for all it's worth to the last bitter drop, for me anyway. I don't doubt that he won't sign until training camps open because, number one, he's always had ADD, attention deficit disorder, as in he almost can't breathe if he's out of the spotlight. Attention is his air, and he needs it to survive. So he's going to create the all-time air chamber and make it last and last and last. He and his hype master, Rich Paul, his agent, his partner in crime. And the truth is, this is mostly an attempt on the part of LeBron James to get even with the Los Angeles Lakers, to make them sweat, to make them squirm, to make them second guess dumping him. Because I'm going to say it again, I said it before it happened, and I reiterate, the Lakers dumped LeBron, not the other way around. He and Rich Paul attempted to spin doctor this situation into LeBron chose to leave the Lakers. No, they chose to force him out because they had had enough of the King's act. They know what had happened with LeBron as their centerpiece. They know that Luka, their new face of the franchise, their new centerpiece, was never going to be happy sharing the stage with LeBron. So they committed full time to Luka and just didn't make an offer to LeBron. Remember, he wanted to sign for a couple of extra years a year ago, and they said no. I think they were grinding their teeth having to pay LeBron $53 million for this past season. Because once again, in the end, they got swept in the playoffs. So LeBron's Laker legacy is they missed the playoffs twice, they got swept twice, and they got gentlemen swept twice in his tenure in LA. And yes, they won one championship, which was the Mickey Mouse Championship in the bubble in 2020 during a pandemic. They won a cubic zirconia ring, a championship for which LeBron had 4 months to take off and get ready for. Played a couple of regular season games, went right into the playoffs in a bubble in which a majority of teams did not want to participate. And definitely as the weeks wore on through the playoffs, they all wanted out. The Clippers, who were the favorites going into the bubble, wanted out and mutinied on Doc Rivers, as you remember. And LeBron hung in because he smelled an easy, cheap chip. And they did that in 2020, 6 years ago, The best player on that team was Anthony Davis, not LeBron James. And since that time in LA, LeBron's playoff record is 16-26. That's what happened in LA. After the Mickey Mouse Championship, in all the 42 playoff games that LeBron played since the bubble, he was 16-26. That's a 38% winning percentage. That's the worst in the NBA over that stretch. And the Lakers knew that he disappointed them again and again and again and again. Don't get me started on that Denver series going back, it was 3 years ago. Conference finals against Denver. God. 4 straight fourth quarters in which the game was tight going to the fourth quarter, and LeBron shot 7 of 23 from the floor in those 4 fourth quarters combined, and 1 of 10 from 3. And in the closeout game out here in Los Angeles, LeBron had 2 shots in the last few seconds to tie the game, and neither touched the rim. 2 shots and neither touched the rim. The Lakers said no to LeBron, and it shamed him, and it devastated him. It tore him apart, because obviously he wanted to finish his career where I think deep down he wished it had started, which was in LA, where he belongs. Hollywood, his second career as he segues into Hollywood. Built his forever home, his dream home in Hollywood. His son is playing in Hollywood for the Lakers. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to go spend another winter in Cleveland, as much as he loves his home area, Akron, Cleveland. He didn't want to spend a winter in Philadelphia. He didn't want to go to Miami, team up with Giannis. He's kind of semi-retired himself. There's not enough there for them to compete even in the East. And he doesn't want to go back or go to Golden State, even though he knows everybody. They're all best friends, and Draymond is a clutch guy, and Steph. And maybe they could bring back Clay. They would be by far the oldest team, the Golden State Warriors in the history of the NBA, even bringing back Al Horford. LeBron doesn't want to do that. He knows it would ultimately be embarrassing. No, he wanted to finish in Hollywood with the Lakers, purple and gold, baby. And they said no, very quietly and very gently. They tried to honor him, making Jeannie Buss made a big statement on the way out. We appreciate all he did. Toughed it out in the bubble and won us a championship under the most difficult baloney. They tried to make nice, and now LeBron is trying to make them miss him by dragging out this free agent process. He's trying to recreate his kingdom, and reinvigorate his billions of blind witnesses to actually believe he's the greatest ever. When the truth is, in NBA Finals games, LeBron is 22-33. He's 4-6 in the finals. But those finals include getting swept twice, gentlemen swept twice, lost in 6 twice. 22-33 of the 30 players who have played at least 30 finals games, that's the worst winning percentage. the worst winning percentage at 22-33. And finally, just for those teams who are salivating for LeBron, breathlessly waiting his decision, I remind everybody.
Skip Bayless 这次的爆料，无疑在整个 NBA 引发了轩然大波。如果从球队重建与薪资空间的角度来看，湖人队决定不再盲目续约詹姆斯，而将未来压在更年轻的舰队核心身上，确实是一个极具商业逻辑但无情的决策。詹姆斯在洛杉矶后期的季后赛 Playoffs 战绩仅为16胜26负，除了一座备受争议的泡泡区冠军，多次在首轮出局甚至无缘季后赛。这证明了随着岁月流逝，即便他依然能送出漂亮的变向运球 crossover， 或在关键时刻完成关键球 clutch shot， 但他的外线三分球 3-pointer 稳定性下滑以及防守端统治力的退化，已无法保证球队重返争冠行列。对于死忠球迷与这位曾多次斩获例行赛 MVP 的传奇球星来说，这种被动放弃显然是一次尊严的重创。因此，他与经纪人里奇·保罗拉长自由市场做决定的过程，更像是在用关注度进行尊严的防守。各位球迷，你们认为湖人这次放弃詹姆斯，拒绝再为他量身打造阵容是正确的选择吗？詹姆斯在其他争冠球队中还能发挥核心作用吗？欢迎在下方留言区留下你的看法。感谢大家收看本期影片。詹姆斯与湖人的决裂大戏是否会就此画下句点？欢迎留言分享你的观点。别忘了点赞、分享并订阅频道。我们下期再见。